UFP, the United Federation of Podcasts.
Engage.
78 years have passed since the days of the original USS Enterprise. Now a new Galaxy starship has been designed.
Transporter Chief, beam our listeners aboard. Welcome to Galaxy Class, a Star Trek The Next Generation podcast on the United Federation of Podcasts Network. I am Diplomatic Standard Bearer Kevin Scharf. With me today are Chief Recreational Officer Ria Papagiorgio and our Head of Astrophysics, Joe Keegan. How are we today, lady and gentlemen?
Doing great. How about you, gentlemen? And Joe, what are you head of today?
Hi. First, I don't know. I hadn't really thought of anything. Although I told you last week that I bought a telescope.
Mm-hmm.
I took, it's been ridiculously cloudy over here for the past,
of course it has.
Weeks. Yeah, I know. But there was a tiny patch of clear sky, and the moon was in it. So I quickly set up the telescope and put my camera on the telescope as well, because it's got a camera adapter, and got a really nice picture of the moon.
That was beautiful, by the way.
Quite impressed with myself. Gorgeous. Yeah, so this is maybe the reason why I'm going to win the kind of photograph of the year 2021.
Hey, I showed that picture to Father Nick, the priest at my church here in Lincoln, who's 88 years old, and he was blown away. He thought that was just amazing.
Tell him thank you.
I will.
I was very impressed.
It was like we were right there.
I know.
On the moon.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing.
Reached out to grab the cheese.
Well, let's check the communications array and see if we have any comments from our listeners.
Logs accessed.
Well, we had a comment from someone whose name is A.M.Y. Nielsen. A.M.Y. Nielsen.
I think she's
French
Canadian, yeah.
Oh, from Quebec, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, oui. So she
Bonjour,
says...
M.Y.
Yes, bonjour. Voulez-vous des bières? Je ne parle pas français. There, that's it. Anyway, M.Y. says, listened this morning and wanted to join in on the fun. Yes, the very first comedic episode I thought of was, sorry, Kevin, Fistful of Datas. Troy makes that episode hilarious. The drawl in her voice, the swagger in her boots, the looks under her cowboy hat all crack me up. And Data playing the different characters is quite funny too. For my godlike being, I was thinking Who Watches the Watchers with, in quotes, the Picard, and how that whole episode is a commentary on why societies create gods in their culture. And for a good cry episode would definitely be The Offspring and All Good Things, when Troy tells Picard you were always invited, sends me over the edge every time. Well, that's odd. A very Troy-heavy comment from this M.Y.
And it's very strange. Her English is very good for being French.
Yes.
So that's impressive. Well done, M.Y.
Thank you, M.Y. Comment again.
Thank you, M.Y. Yeah, we'd love to hear from you again.
Mm-hmm. Maybe get her on as a guest.
That'd be a good idea.
Yeah. We have another comment from Paul Wright Jr. Great show. I agree completely that Data's character development was woefully lacking for someone who had been in Starfleet 15 years and presumably around humanoids in the first season of TNG. This was a bit of a missed premise for the creators. Maybe he should have been a lieutenant junior grade right out of the academy versus a lieutenant commander. Good comment. Yeah, I always think there's lots of things, especially in the first season with Data, like how he doesn't know some words.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, no, he would. He's got a built-in dictionary.
Yeah, exactly.
He's got Grammarly version 500, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
And you would think you could use a find and replace feature to turn cannot into can't.
Exactly, yes. Yeah. If it's software, then of course it can be changed. But thanks for your comment, Paul.
This is the captain. Senior officers will report to my ready room immediately.
Well, today we are back with the latest in our series of Batleth battles. Today is Batleth battle number 8, where Schizoid Man Season 2, Episode 6, and The Perfect Mate Season 5, Episode 21 go head-to-head, and we will choose our favorites. Any overall comments on this matchup before we get into specifics on each episode?
Well, going in, when I saw the two episodes facing off today, I'm like, I know who my winner is, hands down, right? But I've said that before. And then as I watched the first of the two episodes, I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know. This is awesome. But I will try to not be so indecisive. I have a winner as of right now. So if you guys don't screw it up, it should go smoothly today.
Yeah, I watched these episodes early this morning myself without any bias because in my original thinking they were quite evenly matched. And I got to be honest, I'm still on the fence. I don't know which way I'm going to fall yet.
Ooh.
I am the same.
Ooh.
Kind of at the beginning, before I watched the episodes, based on the fact that I have podcasted recently about The Perfect Mate, and it came up in an episode of Earl Grey when we were covering the season 5 deleted scenes, and the deleted scene from The Perfect Mate really puts a new spin on the whole episode. But I haven't watched them. I'm like, they're very similar episodes, and I'm like, I can't really decide which one I like best. There's bits in each of them that I'd really, really enjoy and make them both a winner, maybe.
Neither of these are episodes that fundamentally change the way we think about Star Trek. They're both sort of middle of the road episodes. I don't know if either of these would appear in anyone's top 10 lists, but they're both really well done, well made, and they're sort of both character studies of individual characters. And they both have really standout guest performances. So,
well, one of these episodes I really love, so we'll get there.
That's good to know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's start by talking about the season 2 episode Schizoid Man. Would one of you like to give a brief summary of the plot of the Schizoid Man? Who would be up for that?
I don't know, Rhea. Okay, I'll go with that because I think Rhea might like The Perfect Mate. Got a feeling. Okay, so the Schizoid Man is basically about this old doctor guy called Ira Graves who lives with this young girl on a planet. Now, Ira Graves is the foremost cyberneticist in the Federation. They receive a distress signal from the planet from this young girl. He says, you really have to come. Dr. Graves is not well at all. Please come and help us. So they beam down. It's an unusual makeup of their away team. I think for a reason. Data, Troy, Dr. Solar, and the Worf? Yes, Worf go. The rest of the ship, they go to another distress call because there's something else has happened.
It was a colony ship.
Colony ship, and there's lots of people.
Had a hole in its outer hull.
Yeah, and they're going to be suffering from hypoxia because all the air's been sucked out. So yeah, kind of an unusual way team go down to the planet. They meet Ira Graves, they meet the young girl. Dr. Solar confirms that he's got like a week to live, and he's a goner. Him and Data have long conversations. It turns out that Dr. Graves is actually Data's grandfather, having taught Dr. Nuneen Sung everything he knew, apparently. So, after a while, Data comes out and says, Dr. Graves is dead now, and they'll beam back up to the ship. But it turns out that Dr. Graves has actually uploaded his consciousness and his memories and his self to Data. It's a possession episode. Data has been possessed by another being, and Data's behaviour is very changed. And then they have to basically find a way to get Graves out. And that's kind of it in a nutshell, really. It's about how Data changes.
Exactly. So we look at this we talk about guest stars and importance to Star Trek canon. So what do we think about the guest stars in Schizoid Man?
Well, Susie Plaxton as Dr. Solar.
Mm-hmm.
And as we all know, she also was Kalar. So she's played, she plays the Vulcan Dr. Solar. She plays the Klingon Kalar. She plays in Voyager a female Q. And in Enterprise, she plays a Andorian Terra. But yeah, 4 different species, 3 different series. Big thumbs up for Susie Plaxton.
But I think one of the biggest roles, who's not even in it for all that long, is Ira Graves, played by W. Morgan Shepherd.
Yep.
Who he's been in a ton of Star Trek shows and a ton of other shows as well, including Babylon 5 that I was just watching yesterday because we heard the sad news that Mira Furlan had passed away, who played Delenn in Babylon 5. So some notable performances that I didn't recognise him in. He played the Vulcan Science Minister in Star Trek 2009, the one that basically says to Spock, does he say you should come to the Vulcan... No, he says you shouldn't come to the Vulcan Science Academy.
Or something about why are you applying to the Vulcan Science Academy and Starfleet?
Yeah, something like that. He's basically not very happy at Spock. He played the monster hunter in the Voyager episode Bliss. And you can hear his voice. He's got such a distinctive voice. It's just, it's him. He was the prison warden guy in Star Trek 6.
Ah, the one-eyed Klingon.
Yeah. And I'm okay, that's cool.
Yeah. That's all that he played, but his son actually played in Star Trek Voyager, Icheb's father, Lucan. And his son's name is Mark A. Shepard, but not to be confused with the Mark Allen Shepard that played Morn throughout Deep Space Nine. No relation.
So yeah, really standout performance from Ira Graves. He's got such a distinctive way about him.
Creepy jerk.
Kevin, what are you thinking?
No, I think he, he's only in sort of the first act of the show because he does die quite early, but he has to create that character and make him so memorable that when we start to see Brent Spiner play that same character, we recognize it right away. And I think he does that, right? He establishes this cranky old man very
lecherous
quickly.
Perv. Totally.
Exactly. Rhea, I was thinking about you today when he meets Deanna Troi. And he's like, what is it he says about... Deanna says to him, I thought you didn't like people. And he says, women aren't people.
Yeah.
Women are, I think the point is women are special beings and he loves women. Then he holds her hand and it's just a bit lecherous and creepy, isn't it? And kisses her and I was like, oh, that wouldn't fly today.
No. No. And the same comments that he makes toward Dr. Solar too. It's like, she's a doctor, not a sex toy here for your pleasure, but whatever. It's
a very strange setup they have there that they're the only 2 people on the entire planet and that he doesn't let her speak to other people. Like it's a very, very creepy setup.
And the way he looks at her, there's kind of one scene where they kind of freeze on his face as he's looking at her and it just makes my insides Yeah. So W. Morgan Shepard does an excellent job being just absolutely disgusting.
Yeah. He's also one of the only actors who's appeared on both Star Trek and Doctor Who. Yeah, he was in an episode of Doctor Who with his son where he played the older version of the same character his son was playing.
Interesting. I've never seen Doctor Who, but you'd think as many seasons as that's been around that you would have a lot of crossover between the 2 series.
Star Trek is America and Doctor Who over in England. They just don't really
cross-pollinate.
How could you not have seen Doctor Who?
You know I don't watch TV, right, Joe? Yeah, the only thing I watch is Star Trek. I saw the Orville, and I'm going to start on Schitt's Creek after I finish Brooklyn Nine-Nine. So there you go. And the $6 Million Man.
Very good Canadian show.
Ah, there you go.
What about Dr. Selar? Dr. Selar is a character who feels like we see a lot of, but we only hear her mentioned. This is her only appearance on Star Trek. And again, this is this is her only
physical appearance.
Yeah, the only time we ever see Selar is this episode.
Wow. And I was wondering, and if either you 2 know or listeners, if you know, is there any other character who we only see one time, but who's mentioned as often as Dr. Selar? I can't think of any other character that gets mentioned so much that we never actually see.
No. I don't think there is.
I would have loved to have an episode with Kalar and Dr. Solar where Susie Plaxton is doing a Jeffrey Combs and, playing two different characters in the same episode. But, yeah.
That would have been fun.
Come on, Lower Decks.
She's such a great character. Mm-hmm. Like, she establishes the character right away. She's one of the first Vulcans we see on Next Generation as well. It's the sort of first confirmation we have that there are Vulcans in the crew. She's got this really striking appearance. It is a shame that we don't see more of her. And I've got to wonder why. Like, it felt to me almost like the actress who plays Pulaski, Diana Muldaur, was like, yeah, I need a week off, guys, so let's put another doctor in this episode, right? I mean, she only appears at the beginning, really, to say, oh, I've got to go take care of this other emergency. Can you think of a reason why they would need Dr. Solar when Pulaski is there?
That's a good point. Because, Pulaski specifically says, well, no, you need me for this, whatever other. I wonder if it's just because they needed someone younger and stunning that Dr. Graves could hit on. And don't get me wrong, Diana Muldaur, I think she's gorgeous at any age, but Graves likes the younger women.
And they say that in the episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they made sure there were two beautiful young women in the away team.
Yeah. It would have been an easy right to have a previous relationship between Pulaski and Graves. Because they're not of such a dissimilar age.
True.
And they're both in the science field, so they might have had a past, been at the same conference and had too many glasses of wine together.
And she was taking a break from Riker's dad.
Yes. So that would have been an easy thing. But I get why they did it, because Solar is very striking, Susie Plaxton.
And she's very tall, too. She's probably, 6'1"? She's taller than I am. She kind of towers over me.
That's because she's Vulcan.
Yeah.
Vulcans are very tall.
And that's another thing that's interesting too, is Susie Plaxton plays these over the top characters, and then with Dr. Solar, it's this very restrained Vulcan. I thought that was kind of funny, and watching her in the background as she sits there and she almost kind of smirks, in a Vulcan way. I don't know. I love Susie Plaxton. So
again, she's a very memorable character for a one-time appearance.
Susie Plaxton is 1.87 meters tall, which is 6 foot 1.5. Yeah, that's tall.
My lucky guess was based on a conversation I had with her in the bathroom at the Birmingham Convention Center at Destination Star Trek 2019.
No.
I'm like, she's taller than my one sister, but shorter than the other.
There is one scene in this episode that we haven't mentioned, and it's another iconic Star Trek The Next Generation moment, and that is the cold open with Data and his beard.
Oh, gosh, yes. Which is a nice beard. It just does not look good on Data.
I was kind of offended on his behalf. The way Troy leaves laughing at him.
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't like that behaviour. It's not something you do to your friends. Because he specifically invites Geordi and Deanna to his quarters to see how he's changed.
Yep.
Yeah.
She runs out laughing. I'm like, that's just cruel.
Yeah. Nice job, counselor.
See, Amy Nelson. See, counselor going bad.
Troy's got a cruel streak in her.
Yeah, I didn't really like that. He's doing the human experience thing. It's the first beard that he's growing. And it doesn't look great on him. He doesn't suit a beard, but let him try it.
I think it looks too artificial myself. Like if he had been able to make it look more natural, I think it would have been better.
Go with a lighter tone. I get that his hair is that color.
Well, and it's very sort of straight cut, angular too, right?
And mix in some grays and make it look a little more natural.
Yeah, but I had it bleached grey. White.
Why wouldn't he have wanted Riker to see it? Like, Riker's the one he's trying to emulate here, right?
Like the is it the insurrection scene? Like we said, smoother than the baby's bottom.
Yes.
And Data goes like that, grabs him in the cheek, and he's like, nah.
Anyway, you've got to admit that is another iconic moment in Star Trek: The Next Generation.
And doesn't really serve a purpose apart from introducing Data's continuing adventure with humanity.
Yeah, exactly.
But he spends the rest of the episode not being there because he doesn't remember anything about being possessed by Graves.
Right.
No.
Well, and that's kind of what gives it all away, to the crew, is that, hey, Data's acting weird. So maybe the beard is kind of a hint that Data's behavior is going to be the key to this episode. But we also get another very iconic moment out of this episode, and that's to know him is to love him, is to know him.
It's one of my favourite bits in the world.
And then Wesley comes and says, "Oh, that was a great speech you gave." No, Wesley, no, it was not a great speech. What are you smoking,
No.
Wesley? Didn't you listen to, Lieutenant Yar's lecture about don't do drugs, kid? But anyway.
Well, Wesley was always a science kid. I probably didn't do as well in English.
True, yeah, if he's anything like me. I can safely say that to know him was to love him, and to love him was to know him. Those who knew him loved him, while those who did not know him loved him from afar. It's genius. I love it.
It really is a great acting performance on the part of
Yes.
Brent Spiner too, right? He gets to play somebody who's not Data.
And he shows that scary Data. Like Ira Graves is kind of insane, and Data's really strong.
Yeah.
So
Oh, that scene where they're in 10 forward and he's holding Kareem's
Yes.
hands.
And breaks 2 bones.
you're hurting. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
you see later on, you see Geordie. Is he dead? Is he alive? What has Data Graves done to him? And then he hits Captain Picard.
Yeah.
Captain Picard gets knocked out, and in the most melodramatic way,
Yeah.
like he literally rolls around the wall, doesn't he? He's like, wow.
A very TOS moment.
Yes, very.
Yeah, and that's interesting too, because it took, how many of those accidents before Graves realized that, oh shoot, this ain't gonna work. Before kind of Graves came to his senses and realized that he really didn't want to hurt people.
I did think, see at the very end where he's just knocked out Captain Picard, and then he looks down at his hands, and he's thinking, oh, what have I done? It's after Captain Picard has given him the speech about how many more people are you going to have to hurt. Data's a sentient being, he deserves to live, and you don't deserve to have this body. But then it jumps straight into, like, oh, that's the end, the closing scene. I felt that was very rushed.
Mm-hmm. And it seemed odd to me that Ira Graves could upload his consciousness into Data and still be Ira Graves. But when you transfer it to a different computer, he's just a bunch of memories. Like, why was his personality able to be transferred into Data but not the Enterprise computer?
Do you think maybe he made a decision after the accidents that he was having in Data's body to just upload his, for lack of a better term, his data into the computer and not his personality? Or could it be something that has to do with Data's positronic network that's able to accommodate a personality, whereas the ship's computer couldn't?
Maybe he made the decision to just upload the information, like his research information that he knew, because he knew that would be useful to future generations. But his personality, his essence, really wouldn't be useful. So
his katra?
In effect, that kind of all the bits of data that make you.
Your katra.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, so he chose to die properly this time.
What if he'd mind melded with Dr. Salar? She took on his katra.
They would have had to have gone to Mount Salea on Vulcan.
Yes, for the Faltor Pan.
Yes.
Anything else we need to talk about with Schizoid Man before we move on to the next episode?
See, we had a couple of the only couple canon references I had were, of course, Dr. Soong, and Ira Graves claims to have taught Dr. Soong all that he knew, but that could just be his ego talking. And yeah, Salar's only actual physical appearance. But that's kind of all I had canon-wise.
What do you think about the idea about the transport? There was that whole bit about we're just going to drop out of warp briefly, and things might feel weird. And Troy says, for a minute it felt like I was materializing inside that wall over there. And Morph says, for a moment you were. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense to me at all.
I kind of get it.
Yeah, I got that more than I got. It's a near warp transport, but then you get 5 seconds of the ship going very slow, like in orbit of the planet.
So the ship has dropped out of warp, so it's not in warp.
It's like looks like it's barely at impulse.
I was always under the impression that you're aware of your surroundings on the transporter pad, and then you're aware of your surroundings when you rematerialize, and in between, you really don't experience anything. Like
that's the way it kind of would work, because all your atoms have been converted into energy, so you're basically just a data stream, so you wouldn't have any perception of anything. But they kind of throw a spanner in the works later on with Barclay.
Oh, that's right.
Seeing worms in the transporter beam, as if he's got as if he's standing there as an actual humanoid being being kind of magically transported somewhere.
I guess it's a matter of when in the transport process is your conscience dematerialized. It's the Heisenberg compensator when all else fails.
That's it. Yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. With that, should we move along to the perfect mate?
I'll take one of those, certainly.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Take it, Rhea. Can you give us a bit of a summary of the perfect mate?
The Enterprise D is transporting an ambassador from the planet Krios to host a reconciliation ceremony between Krios and Vault Minor, and that reconciliation will be held aboard the Enterprise at a point midway between their two systems. The ambassador has some pretty precious cargo in the cargo bay. Interesting. Oh, Enterprise receives a distress call from a Ferengi shuttle that's about to explode. So they go to their rescue. They beam these 2 Ferengi aboard. The Ferengi are characteristically annoying as they are in TNG, and Riker is his usual remarkably racist anti-Ferengi self. So while preparing for this conference, unbeknownst to Captain Picard, while being distracted by one Ferengi, the other one is in the cargo bay trying to examine this precious cargo. When they walk in on him, he trips and falls and knocks one of the energy legs out from underneath. The cargo falls over and opens up, and there's this stunningly gorgeous, beautiful woman. Turns out this woman is a metamorph, an empathic metamorph, who is a gift for the ambassador from Vault Minor as part of kind of the peace process. Well, basically, these empathic metamorphs, the females are born once every, 7 generations or so, and they're able to sense exactly what, in this case being a female metamorph, exactly what a male wants in a mate, and she can become whatever he wants. Now, because she came out of stasis early, she's in the final stages of her sexual maturation process, and so has kind of this effect on any male in the ship, any male that she comes in contact with, and vice versa. And so it's kind of best, the ambassador basically orders her to remain in her quarters. Dr. Crusher gets all sorts of butthurt about that. Can I say that? Butthurt? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's a sentient being, and we can't be transporting...
Heart's not a bad word.
Okay. We can't be transporting, sentient beings as property, and this is a life of prostitution and blah, blah, blah. Long story short, Kamala, the metamorph's name, realizes that with the effect that she's having on men, that she does need to remain in her quarters, and so she does so. In the meantime, the Ferengi, in an attempt to buy the metamorph from the ambassador, accidentally injure him. He ends up unconscious, and as a result, Captain Picard needs to assume the duties of negotiation for this peace conference. Of course, he needs to work with Kamala to prepare himself for this.
Is it Kamala or Kamala?
I don't know.
I'm sure she was named after the vice president.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure the DNC had sent out a pronunciation guide to media outlets.
I never put that together. Says the Scotsman and the Canadian to the American.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Is it Kamala or Kamala?
I think it's...
They said Kamala.
They said Kamala, yes.
That's so funny.
Like Pamela.
Kamala. I never put that 2 and 2 together. Although the ambassador, Briam, and I know that's not how it's pronounced, but Briam is a Greek dish that's like a vegetable stew kind of thing. So the Briam thing jumps out at me, but Kamala, I never noticed. So anyway.
Quick aside.
Yeah, quick aside, back to the summary. in the process of helping Captain Picard prepare Kamala and Picard. So by the time Ulrich of Alt comes to the Enterprise for the peace conference, Kamala has already imprinted on Captain Picard. But because she has, and because of Picard's sense of duty, her sense of duty, she goes through with the marriage, even though she'll never love Ulrich like she loves Picard. And Picard has his guts ripped out and thrown in his face. And the wedding happens, and peace is restored, and everyone lives happily ever after, except for Kamala and Picard. The end.
It is a bit of a sad ending, isn't it?
Gut-wrenching. Oh my gosh. I mean, have you ever had like a forbidden love? Have you ever had someone that you just couldn't be together? You just knew it just couldn't be. You ever had that?
No.
I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe
I did, and maybe that's one of the reasons why I really love this episode. And even looking back, it's like, no, it could have never been. It could have never been. And so I can only look back with a smile. But yeah, it's...
I think it's even sadder having seen the deleted scene.
Yeah.
Where Picard proclaims his undying love for her and says you can stay here on board. And sort of throws a whole spanner into the works of the negotiation and the peace treaty. And then it ends there. Mm-hmm. Obviously, they didn't go with that ending, but it would have changed TNG, because then Picard would have been living with this woman on board.
Which I would not complain about, because, and you know what, I'm like straight as the day is long. I have no interest in women. I have no interest in men at this point. I have no interest in whatever, at the risk of TMI, but Famke Janssen is stunningly gorgeous, and this character,
Yes, she is.
Oh my gosh, this character is so riveting, and so, I don't know, what's the word I'm trying to think of, magnetic, attractive, just like in every way. Oh my gosh, it's like you almost want to put yourself in, Riker's shoes in that one scene.
See, I hated that scene. It just made me cringe. See, when Riker leaves, what is it? He says to her, I don't want to open another man's gift.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay. And then he leaves, and then he calls the bridge and says, if anybody wants me, I'll be on the holodeck.
Yeah, I'll be on holodeck 4.
Which...
yeah, that was a little creepy.
That made me laugh.
Instead of saying, if anybody needs me, I'll be having a cold shower.
Yeah. Well, he'll be having a cold shower in holodeck 4. I call that scene Riker's boner, because like there are two different scenes. That scene with Riker, and then the first scene with Picard in Kamala's quarters, where they both like back out. They both back toward the door. And then Riker turns around, and that's kind of in my head canon that it was Riker's boner that opened the door. But
oh, wow.
I don't know. That just cracks me up. You're right, Joe. It is creepy, but I think it's pretty hilarious.
It's kind of, yeah. I get it.
So let's talk about the guest stars in this episode. You mentioned Famke Janssen. Had she done the James Bond movie by this point?
What year was that?
Oh, was she Natasha on the top?
I thought it was Xenia on the top. Wasn't she the
Xenia.
one who could crush walnuts between her thighs?
She could crush Data between her thighs. I think this one was first, but I could be wrong.
GoldenEye was 1995, and The Perfect Mate was... When was it? 92.
Yeah, Next Gen ended in 94, so...
And then obviously they came together again in X-Men.
Yes.
In X-Men, yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
She really is a wonderful performer.
Yes.
And this was obviously the inspiration for Jadzia Dax and the Trill Spots.
Yep.
I thought that I noticed the Trill Spots. I noticed them on Ulrich of Vault, because now he's got that red afro thing on the back of his head, which just looks ridiculous. If he's going to get married, he should at least have got his hair done. But I did notice the Trill-like spots.
I noticed them on Briam first, actually. And as I was rewatching, I'm like, wait a minute, is he a Trill? And then I noticed them on her.
Interesting.
And that's interesting that you mentioned that too, because Jadzia also has that just very magnetic, attractive quality to her as well.
And talking about Jadzia, we have another, or a DS9 alum in the form of Max Krudenchik.
Yes.
Did you say his name? Is that how you say his name?
Yes.
I believe
Never
so.
really sure. Okay. Max Grodenchik, who plays Rom in Deep Space Nine. He plays one of the Ferengi that come on board. And it just sounds like Max Grodenchik, doesn't he? Even the face and the Ferengi teeth.
And some of kind of like the heavy breathing when he speaks. Yeah.
Yeah. I think they maybe used the same Ferengi teeth for the Perfect Mate character.
Why wouldn't they?
if they're molded to fit, yeah.
Well, they used the same headpiece for Max Grodenchik in this episode as they did in Captain's Holiday when Grodenchik played Sovak, because there's like a tattoo or something on the right frontal lobe, which Rom didn't have, but the two Ferengi that he played in TNG had. And speaking of Dax, Grodenchik played a Trill ensign in Star Trek Insurrection.
No. I'm going to have to watch that again.
In a deleted scene, so good luck.
Oh, okay. Get the Blu-rays out. Briam, who, he was in a bunch of stuff that, if you're a human of our age, roughly, you will have seen him in something. Like Knight Rider in the A-Team and Hawaii Five-0. There's a huge list of credits.
MASH.
Of things that he's been in. Yeah, it's
Wonder Woman.
With people that have been in Star Trek before. Who else we got? I don't know Mickey Cottrell from anything.
He also appeared in Voyager, Mickey Cottrell did, as another alien.
Yeah, with those metal
bars over his face.
Yeah.
And then we had Michael Snyder, who played the other Ferengi.
Yeah.
He also played a Ferengi in Rascals in TNG. And then we have another Dax connection here. So
yes, we do.
Michael Snyder appeared in 2 of the TOS movies. He appeared in Star Trek IV as a communications officer, but in Star Trek VI, The Undiscovered Country, he played crewman Dax, no relation to the Trill Dax.
The guy with the big web feet.
Yes.
The boots did not fit. You must acquit.
Wow. I love all these links.
I know.
And that Memory Alpha is just so useful for that, because they're doing all the work for us.
That it is.
I love that. It's an iconic scene as well. This episode has so many guests on it, because you've got all the miners that they saved.
Yeah.
So that whole 10 forward scene with all the miners in it.
They were all interesting looking aliens.
Kind of looked like miners, didn't they?
For sure. And then it was so, I thought, again, Famke Janssen did such a great job of being the woman that they wanted there in 10 forward.
What are we drinking, boys?
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
And growling at Worf.
Like that. Oh.
Yeah, she's awesome.
So what about importance to Star Trek canon? Anything jump out at you?
The dolphins, duh.
Yeah, the dolphins.
I heard that today. Yes, the dolphins. A reference to cetacean ops. Dolphins existed. Whether they're dolphins or just other cetacean mammals, I don't know. But he did say, "Have you seen the dolphins yet?"
Yes, because we haven't, and nor will we ever. Although I'm hoping in Lower Decks we'll have a cetacean ops episode. But
see the dolphins.
The dolphins have their own aquatic escape pods. They do. It's on the blueprints.
It'd be very fun to see. For somebody to create like maybe a Twitter or something where it's what the dolphins were doing when something else was going on.
Spin-off episode or spin-off series.
Where were the dolphins when the Enterprise crashed in Generations? Where were the dolphins when the cause and effects were happening? You know.
But dolphins are very smart.
Yeah, they are.
They would have known that if they'd gone to cetacean ops, it would have been over in 5 minutes, because the dolphins know, oh yeah, we're stuck in a time loop.
Yeah, they just know.
We have to choose Commander Riker's option.
Star Trek Wet Decks.
Yes.
There you go. You heard it here first.
Love it.
Yep, Star Trek DSV.
Deep Space Voyages? Deep Sea Voyages?
It was like Sequest DSV.
Oh.
Now the Star
seen.
Trek, with the submarine.
You didn't miss much, believe me.
Oh no, I loved Sequest. I loved they had a dolphin that could talk.
Yes, they did.
Darwin.
Actually,
Oh,
since you mentioned that, there's an episode of The $6 Million Man with William Shatner. It's called The Brightest Star or something. And Shatner played an astronaut who got hit by some cosmic rays, but he could talk to dolphins. There you go.
Interesting.
Would
they? Because they have those the clicks and the whistles, don't they? So would William Shatner have a very dramatic clicks and whistles? Exactly like that. Yes, I'm keeping that in. I'm keeping that in.
Sorry, listeners.
The one thing that I did love that was in this episode were the Picard Crusher breakfasts. I thought it was nice to see those again. I like that she can be open with him.
And vice versa.
The breakfast looked lovely too. I would eat croissants with Dr. Crusher.
I would eat croissants with Captain Picard.
I would just eat croissants.
I would eat croissants with Kamala.
Every day. I did have a feeling, I was like, what is the proper way to eat a croissant? Are you supposed to cut it open and then put stuff inside, or do you just put the stuff on the outside?
I think you break it open with your hands, let the steam come out.
I don't know, but then I thought if Picard's doing it the wrong way, then every French person that's watching it is going to be up in arms and sending hate mail to Paramount.
Did he cut with a fork and knife, or did he break apart with his hands?
It's already opened when he's putting some orange, apricot jam, some kind of preserve on it.
I'll have to rewatch that. But you're right, it was nice how they could both kind of open up to each other, and Picard, when he needed to kind of lean on one, he could lean on her. But Beverly said some stuff. I think that this episode really brings up some great Prime Directive kind of issues, and something that throughout all of Star Trek, okay, yes, by Federation standards, you can't transport sentient beings as property. But I think we did establish in this episode that Kamala wanted this. She'd been preparing her whole life for this. This is what she wanted. And she even chose, throughout the course of the episode, that she wanted to remain in her quarters. She saw the effect that she was having. So, again, it wasn't like she was being forced into anything. This was her choice. But Beverly says at one point, oh, yeah, but she's been conditioned since birth for this. Okay, yes, Beverly, but Beverly, you've been conditioned since birth to be opposed to this kind of thing. I think it really brings up, at least it makes me think that, if you really want to respect other cultures and you really want to respect the Prime Directive, you have to even respect those that you don't agree with. And boy, I think that kind of thinking would go a long way in today's day and time. Like arranged marriages. I know so many people that think that those are just absolutely atrocious. But I come from a culture where I know a lot of people whose parents were arranged marriages. And, newsflash, they're still married. Mine was not an arranged marriage. Not that I'm still bitter about my parents not arranging anything, but I'm already divorced. So, there's something to be said for, other cultures with different, norms, I guess.
Are you asking Kevin and I to find a man for you, like a husband?
I'm in no rush.
We can arrange something.
Actually, though, you know what? They did mention that male metamorphs are common.
Yes.
So find me one of those, or an android boyfriend, or a male metamorph.
Got it.
That looks like Shazad Latif, or the new admiral from.
Did Rhea just admit she wants a sex robot?
I'm just seeing if mailordergrooms.com is a website. It's not a website. Husbandforrhea.com. Also not a website. I'll keep trying, Rhea.
Again,
don't worry.
Either
got you covered.
The Admiral Vance or the Shazad Latif model. I'm not picky.
I'm just going to put the shipping address in as Lincoln, Nebraska. Rhea, Lincoln, Nebraska, USA.
There you go.
And he should get to you.
Drop him off downtown. I'll go pick him up.
And you're shoving him in the back of your big truck.
Yes, there's plenty of room.
You could put a mattress in the back.
Well, or I could put him in the cab because it's snowing outside and drive him home, and I've got a mattress here. But,
Okay, for sleeping, yes, indeed.
But we digress.
I think we did a
painfully.
See that, but just coming back to that breakfast scene, yes, Crusher has, rightly so, a bee in her bonnet about what's happening to Kamala. But she's a bit shady, isn't she? She ends up saying, oh, well, maybe you should know more about what's going on in your ship.
Yeah, ouch.
If you're the captain. I was like, oh, okay. Luckily, they're friends and stinky court-martialed for that. Are we ready?
I think we might be ready. Does anyone have anything else to say about The Perfect Mate?
We do have Riker as a racist, and we do have a pretty uncomplimentary view of the Ferengi by the Enterprise crew.
Yes, I picked up on that as well. It was like, Worf find them quarters about the Ferengi and make sure they're far away from mine.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh... For the first officer of the Federation flagship, that's just racist.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Even Captain Kirk would say there's no room for that on my bridge.
I did think that was a bit off colour.
Yeah. Riker the racist. Riker the horny racist.
So that leads us to the debate. Which episode do we prefer? Who would like to go first? I mean, I'm happy to go first if you want me to go first. Because I'm really still up in the air. These are so neck and neck.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Kevin, can I make an admission?
Okay.
I am also in the same place.
Yeah.
I have no clue.
I'm starting to lean one way.
Mm-hmm.
I do love The Perfect Mate. Famke Janssen is amazing in this episode. But I think I'm leaning towards Schizoid Man for the iconic image of Data with a beard. For the character of Dr. Solar, who, even though this is the only time we see her, gets mentioned a bunch of times throughout the run of the show. Mm-hmm. For Brent Spiner's real tour de force performance as both Data and Ira Graves, I think I'm going to vote for Schizoid Man.
And for it only being season 2.
Yeah, it's a really good season 2 episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, compared to the later season 5 for Perfect Mate.
Mm-hmm.
And there's absolutely nothing wrong with Perfect Mate. It's a perfectly serviceable episode. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Schizoid Man. I'm
going to write down what I'm voting for.
Okay.
So Rhea, let's hear yours.
I think you guys knew mine. And like I said, as I was rewatching both episodes for this recording, the first one I watched was Schizoid Man because you got to go in order because you're OCD like that. And I had forgotten how enjoyable that episode is. I mean, really, the only thing I didn't like was kind of the ditzy blonde. She was just kind of naive and kind of wishy-washy, whatever.
Yeah.
But it really is a good episode. And like you said, Kevin, Brent Spiner, his range is just amazing. And he did such a good job continuing the creepy lech that W. Morgan Shepard, started with Ira Graves. And after watching that, I'm like, oh, shoot, I don't know now. But then I rewatched The Perfect Mate and realized how much I love it. And not just because, again, Famke Janssen is just electric, magnetic, amazing, incredible, but the longing with Captain Picard. And you don't get to see that aspect of Captain Picard very often. And then the comedic moments, again, creepy as it was, the whole Riker stuff was funny. But also like the deeper messages that I think can get lost if you're not looking for them about how to truly respect the cultures that that differ from your own. So yes, like you guys probably predicted, my vote is The Perfect Mate, which makes Joe Keegan the tiebreaker.
It does have to break tie.
No turnabout is fair play.
Okay, I have written down my choice.
Before you reveal, I just want to let you know that I am happy with either episode. I like them both almost equally. So
me too.
I will not be upset with whichever one you choose.
And I want to let you know that I'm just going to assume that you're going to vote against me out of spite. So so I also will not be upset.
Well, do you know what? I'm disappointed, Rhea, that you would think that. I thought we had a good friendship going in. Like, we both have open invites to each other's house when we're allowed to.
We do.
But having said that, I did vote just to spite you, and I voted for the Schizoid Man.
Sure, so there you have it, listeners. I have voted for the Schizoid Man. Ria Papagiorgio has voted for The Perfect Mate.
Wow.
And Kevin Scharf has voted for the Schizoid Man.
I really thought you were going to vote for Perfect Mate.
I could kind of toss a coin and it could change. It's on the wire.
Hey, fair enough.
Mm.
Both very good episodes.
They were both very good episodes, and not episodes that get talked about a lot.
No,
they're not sort of the go-to premiere episodes that people think of when they talk about this show. So there we go.
As evidenced in the Batleth battle a few weeks ago between All Good Things and Conspiracy, anytime you have a two-party system and you have to vote for one or the other, the best one might not necessarily make it through.
Mm-hmm. So let's see what that does to the bracket. The Schizoid Man will be facing off against the movie Star Trek Insurrection.
Oh, the Schizoid Man against Insurrection. Okay, that's an interesting one.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
That won't be for a while. Our next Batleth battle, though, in a few weeks, will be another season 2 episode, Measure of a Man, versus a season 1 episode, The Lonely Among Us.
Listeners, place your bets now.
Incoming transmission.
Well, if you have thoughts about any of our Batleth battles, please get in touch with us. And we would hope that you will join us in our Facebook group, the Federation Council Chambers. You are welcome to start conversations with us or add any general Star Trek info you want to share with the group.
If you'd like to send us an email, you can email the network at contact@ufp.earth, and we might read your email on the show.
Please hit the subscribe button on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts, and leave us a star rating and written review. That helps others to find the show. You can also follow the entire network's podcasts with our master feed by searching United Federation of Podcasts. This way you won't miss any of our fine shows like All Good Things with the one and only Amween Welson, Franchise Fatigue, Always Hold On to Arrow, General Quarters, Mickey's Marvels, Infinite Diversity, and Trek Pod. So Joe, where can people find you when you're not swimming with the dolphins in Cetacean Ops?
Oh, do you know what? I can barely swim. I can swim, but I'm not very good. So I probably need like a rubber ring and like inflatable armbands as well. I think the cetacean mammals might save me if I drown, though, I believe. But when I'm not doing that, you can find me on the Federation Council Chambers. You can email me, joepodcasts@gmail.com, or you can tweet me on the Twitter @JoeyJoe77UK. And Kevin, where can people find you when you are not being a male metamorph?
Whew.
When that is not happening, you can find me in 10 Forward, just becoming every woman's greatest desire. But that doesn't happen very often, so you can find me on Twitter @TrueNorthNerds, which is the name of a podcast I do with a couple of friends here locally. We just recorded an episode last night, which will already be out as this drops, where we discussed the first 3 episodes of WandaVision, which I'm loving. And I'm also on Stage Whispers, which is a podcast about local theater here in Central Ontario. And I may have another podcast project coming soon, which I'm sure you'll hear more about in the coming days. Ria, where can people find you when you are not falling out of a stasis field?
When I'm not falling out of a stasis field.
Hold on, Ria, I'm offended on your behalf. Ria doesn't fall anywhere. Ria would float gracefully out of the field.
Oh, has Joe never seen Ria walk into doors and trip over her own feet? And when I'm not floating gracefully out of a stasis field, you can find me in Cetacean Ops with the mint julep laughing as Joe can't swim in his inflatable donut. You can find me in the Federation Council Chambers on Facebook. You can send me an email at contact@ufp.earth. I would be absolutely tickled to receive that. And that's basically my online presence. Kind of a packlet here.
Priority 1 message from Starfleet coming in on secured channel.
If you'd like to help us keep all our shows coming to you each week, you can become a patron of the network on Patreon. Visit patreon.com/UFPearth. That's patreon.com/UFPEARTH to get all the details. We have four different levels, starting at just $1 US per month, and would appreciate any support you can give us.
We would like to recognise our executive producers, Brandon Shinutala, Ken Tripp, Zach Moore, and Tony Robinson. We'd also like to thank Zach Tripp for our opening and closing music, and Tony Robinson for our amazing artwork.
Thank you for beaming aboard the Galaxy class, and until next time...
Would you ask me to stay? And ask two armies to keep fighting? Having bonded with you, I've learned the meaning of duty. He'll never know. I'm still empathic. I will be able to please him. I only hope he likes Shakespeare. Stay classy, Galaxy.
Sleep in light, far from shadows.
When I stroke the beard thusly, do I not appear more intellectual?
Engage.
This has been a production of MTMR Media Works.